Hello, it's Neil Ball, your online marketing coach from www.workwithneilball.com. I'm going to talk about how to buy advertising space in traditional media. I'm going to tell you the secret of how to save money on all of your advertising in printed media. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about an absolutely gangster way of saving money that the publishers of printed media absolutely hate but can't resist. And they'll wish that you never knew about it. Right, so before I get started, why should you listen to me? I used to have a mail order business and I would spend about £20,000 to £30,000 a month on printed media, or in dollar speak, that's probably up to about $50,000 a month on printed media in many national publications of magazines and local newspapers. And this spend was based on not on rate card, but on the rates that I actually paid. So it's based on the discounted prices that I was getting at the time. When my business started, it really couldn't afford to do any of this type of advertising, which made me learn the art of what I'm about to share with you. The effectiveness of the following will vary from publication to publication, depending on how popular that publication is. There are a few rules that you need to abide by to get cheap advertising. First of all, you never ever pay rate card. The rate card is for people who are spending other people's money. You must never pay rate card because the rate card has always got a margin built into it for advertising agencies to offer a discount or to be offered a discount so that they can then charge the people that advertise with them the rate card and make it look as if they're not making any money. And there's always further room for negotiation built into the rate card. So that's the first rule really that you must stick to. The second rule is that you never ever buy advertising. This one tip alone will save you a fortune. Now you're probably thinking, well, of course it will save me money, but how will I advertise if I never buy any advertising? Well, here's what I mean by this. You can either buy advertising where you call a publication and book and buy space, or you can get them to sell advertising to you. If you do this, you'll spend a lot less money. So to do this, to get the publications to sell to you requires that you plan ahead a little bit. This won't work, of course, if you're trying to get into, if it's November and you're trying to get to advertise in the December issue of a monthly publication, because you've just not got time. To make this work, you need to contact the publication that you want to advertise in, possibly several months before you want to advertise with them, depending on the lead time and the type of marketing or the type of publication that you're going in. Obviously, a local paper has a much shorter lead time than a magazine. The next step is like playing poker, and you must never reveal your hand. I'll talk briefly about the psychology of this situation. Well, it is very brief, but you've got to remember that virtually all printed media is under increasing pressure from online media, and they're losing advertisers every year. And what this means is that they're desperate to fill the space and find new advertisers to try and plug the loss. Also, the sales reps are more than likely paid a bonus for getting new advertisers. So what you need to do is when you talk to the sales rep or the salesperson is you don't tell them what you're doing. So you don't tell them that you want to advertise in several months. What you do is you let them think that you're looking to place an advert now, but you're looking for a deal. You need to let them offer a discount rather than you suggest one. So say something like, well, what is your absolute best offer you can offer for me? Don't let them know what your price is or what you want to pay at this point. But say something like you want to try the magazine for the first time or the publication for the first time. So you really do need the absolute best price, because that's going to give you it's going to put you in a position where you're able to judge the success of it much better. The higher they charge, the more they charge you, remember, the more money you've got to make. So it's in your interest to get the lowest price. It's in their interest for you to see it as a success. So you want to come back for more. So you need to sort of sell that to them to some extent. And when you're given the price, what you need to do is you need to realise that it's not going to be the best price. even though they'll probably claim that it is. The next thing you need to do is you really need to be cool and about the offer that they offer to you, and say that you need to think about it. If you have a business partner or a director or a manager or just someone else, you could possibly use them as an excuse and say something like you need to run it past them first, and tell them and then tell them to call you back tomorrow. This will get the sales rep excited and keen because they'll think that there's a deal in the making, and they will call you the next day. When they call you back, you need then to say that the price isn't low enough. How much more can they cut off the price? They'll claim that they can't cut any more off. They're giving you the lowest price. They might even say, oh, you've got the lowest price in the publication. These are all standard lines that they'll hit you with. We've heard it all before. Oh, I've certainly heard it, and I'm sure you have. What you really need to do is sense this position, because it comes with experience. But what you need to remember is that they want to sell you more than you want to buy at this point, because you're not ready to advertise yet. And even though the reps that think you are, you're not. Now that puts you in a great position, because sometimes when you have a conversation with somebody, you can sense a situation. And if the person on the other end of the phone can sense that you're cool about the situation, you're not desperate, they're more likely to try harder. And it's something that you're not lying about, because it's the truth. You're not going to be going ahead straight away, even though they don't know that, but you're being cool about the price. So you're sort of disguising the fact that you're not doing it now with the fact that the price isn't good enough. So whatever you do, don't let them know, even at this point, the price that you want to pay, and thank them for the time and ask them to give you a call when they have a more sensible price. And you can be a bit sort of cheeky about it, get a bit of a banter going with them. It usually works quite well. And what you need, hopefully you'll find that the rep, if they're any good, what they'll do at this point, they'll call you back at some point. And what you need to do then is you need to speak to them and be pleasant to them, but hold out. Don't give anything away. Remember that they also have to justify their time, because if they're not selling, then effectively they have to be telling. So they've probably got some kind of call sheet where they've got to call people and they've got to report an outcome and the likelihood of getting an advertising slot booked with them. So if you talk to them, you're going to be unlike most people, because they're not going to talk to them. They're probably going to avoid them and not answer the phone or make excuses. So from time to time, talk to them, sometimes be too busy, and just continue to let them, string them along for a period of time. And eventually, they'll probably slice some more off the price, but still hold out. And what you need to do is, when you get to about a month out before you need to place the advert, speak to them and offer them half of the best price that they've ever offered. Now, you probably think this is incredibly cheeky, but I've done this, and it's amazing. If you do it, you'll be surprised. They'll go away and they'll take you seriously. And even if they don't, you're planting a seed in the mind. And they know, obviously they tell you that they've offered you the lowest price, but they know they haven't offered you the lowest price. So they know that they can go lower if they can, and they want the deal. So they'll go and try and find a way of getting that deal. But what will probably happen is they won't accept that, but that's okay. When they refuse, again, you're going to ask them, well, look, how close can you get to that price? And they'll probably get a bit closer. They might knock another percentage off. And again, at this point, you're still going to refuse them. So it's a bit like playing hard to get this. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. About 2 weeks before you need to place the advert, allowing for a sort of bit of lead time for one final crack, tell them that you're planning a campaign in about 2 weeks, and can they get any closer to the offer? And again, they may give you a little bit more, but still don't commit. But this is going to set a point in time for you, or a price for you, which you're now going to use. Now, this is the killer thing. The next thing that's going to happen is going to get you some discounts. So the next thing that you need to do to get a lower price is take the lowest price that you've got at this point, subtract off it 20 to 30%. I'd say 30, but you might not feel that cheeky. And next, what you need to do is write a cheque out, a good old-fashioned cheque, for that amount of money, and send them a written order to the rep. And what you must do is not tell them that you're going to do this. And the order should say something like, please find enclosed an order for the advertising and specify what it is, when you want it and where you want it placed. And what should happen is, if you're planning the other thing is, if you're planning a campaign over a few publications for over a period of time, to make it even more tempting for them, because you're really showing them a commitment, give them post-dated cheques for each publication that you're going to advertise in over that period of time. So say you're doing 6 weeks worth of advertising, give them a cheque post-dated for that 6 week period for each week that they're going to advertise. Now that puts you in a really good position, because remember, most people will probably get credit. So you're having to forego your credit to get this, but they've got certainty of payment and they've got an order in the hand. Now that is very powerful, because you've shown an incredible commitment, and it's something that normally they wouldn't come across. And it really does provide you with the ability to get the price reduced, so that you get to the price that you really want to pay. So it's a question of really holding out until this point. And what you'll find is that when the rep receives the order, they're going to call you, and they'll probably think that you've made a mistake. And you'll say that you haven't, and ask them, do you want the order? And they'll probably say that the amount is too low and it's below what everyone else has ever paid. And you just say to them, well, look, I'm prepared to place this advert. I've shown you my commitment, but if you don't want the order, then send the cheque back to me. And what you'll find at that point is they may well turn around to you and say something like, well, leave it with me. And what will actually happen in the background is they'll go away, they'll talk to the manager or they'll talk to the director, and virtually all of the time you'll get the deal. It's extremely unlikely that they're going to return the cheques to you, or I found it is. They're probably, so what you need to do, they'll probably come back to you and say something like, well, we can do it this time, but next time you'll have to pay more. And at that point, you just don't commit. You just say, well, at this point, I can't, you've got no measure of the value of the advertising because you've never advertised in it. So you don't know if that advertising is actually going to work for you. So at that point, you've got your deal, and that's what matters. Now, the next thing that you need to do, because inevitably, once you start advertising with them, as I'm sure you know, they'll start ringing you up and they may well ask you how your publication, how your advertising is going, is it successful? And really what they're doing is they're feeling you out to see if they can get more money out of you. There's a bit of a balance here, because obviously if you say something's absolutely dire, you're not going to keep advertising in it. So, but you don't have to tell them it's incredibly successful. So if you've got an advert that just about breaks even, then for you, it justifies renewing the advertising. From their point of view, it can't justify them pushing the boundaries and asking for more money, because at that point you're going to turn around to them and say, well, I'm losing money at that point. So even if they ask you how well it's going, you're not going to tell them the truth if it is successful. If it isn't successful, it's very easy to tell them the truth because it isn't. And what you need to do then is, when the series of cheques run out, if you want to advertise more, then you need to repeat the process. Now, at this point, they'll probably tell you, you can't do that. You need to pay more. Or you need to do exactly the same. Just send them the order, let them get the order in their hand and see what they do. The first time's always going to be the most difficult, because if they've done it once, it's very likely they'll do it again. And you'll find that eventually you've established that rate as the rate that you're going to advertise at from then on. Now, during this process, you need to make sure that you do a bit of your preliminary work in actually getting to the position where you do the advertising. Make sure that you discuss the size of advert that you're proposing to advertise in the position that you're proposing to advertise in. And for example, if it's a daily newspaper, make sure that you talk about the specific day that you're looking to advertise on as well, so that you've got everything set properly, because it might be that in a publication, the Saturday edition sells a lot better than the Monday edition. So if you're talking about the Monday edition and then you do a switch to the Saturday edition, that's going to change things. It is, however, useful to know what they charge on those other nights, because it gives you some idea of what they're prepared to go down to. So it's worth at least exploring that amount. And you'll see that just using these simple techniques, it's almost like playing hard to get, really. And by doing it, you're being sold to. And that's really what you want. You've got to turn this around. It's not that you want to advertise with them. They want to sell you the space. And once that happens, you find that the negotiation becomes a whole lot easier, because they're trying to tempt you in. Whereas if you go ring them up and say, I want an advert for tomorrow, you're not going to get that. Now, using these techniques, I've been able to get advertising in sub-publications, which are up to 75% off the rate card in some cases. You're not always going to get that, because it depends on the publication and the popularity of it. And also sometimes maybe the time of the year. But you need to try it and see what you can get. I know work online helping people escape the 9 to 5 by working from home on the internet, either part-time or full-time. If you're interested in finding out how to get a free video that explains how you can do the same, then go to www.workwithneilball.com/take action. Again, that's www.workwithneilball.com/take action. If you've found this video useful, please like it on YouTube and Facebook, tweet it on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, goodbye.